Okay, folks, before you chuck that penny jar for some gas money, let me tell you about the humble, unassuming penny that might just make you a millionaire. I'm talking about a 2009 no-mint mark Lincoln penny valued at a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Yeah, that's right, we're talking about a penny that could buy you a mansion or maybe even pay off your student loans, let's face it. Pennies are like the snacks at the bottom of your bag. You know they're there, but you rarely pay them any attention. Well, today we're diving deep into why this particular penny is worth its weight in pure gold, and how you might just have one lying around in your couch cushions, alright? Let's break it down. Why the heck would a 2009 penny, yes, a penny, be worth nearly $2 million? To understand that, we've got to take a quick journey back to 2009. 2009 was a big year for Lincoln pennies. The U.S. Mint released a special series of designs to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and collectors went crazy for him. There were 4 different designs, showing different phases of Lincoln's life: the log cabin design, formative years design, professional life design, and the presidency design. But here's the twist. The mint that struck these pennies didn't put a mint mark on some of them. That's right. No P, no D, no S, nada. A no-mint mark penny is like an unsigned piece of art. It's super rare. And rarity in the coin world is like having a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory. Here's the part that blows my mind. Most 2009 no-mint mark pennies are regular OL coins worth a cent or two. But then, there's this one super rare specimen that collectors believe to be an ultra-high grade. That's why it's worth a cool $1.9 million. It's like finding a diamond ring in your cereal box now. Let me tell you a quick story. About 2 years ago, I'm sitting on my couch, fishing through change in my penny jar, hoping to scrape together enough for a coffee. Living the dream, right? So I start inspecting each penny like I'm a detective, checking the dates and mint marks, wondering if maybe, just maybe, I'd find something valuable. Spoiler alert, I didn't find any million-dollar pennies. But I did learn a ton about spotting valuable coins along the way. And who knows, maybe today's the day I'll finally strike penny gold, alright. So what should you look for if you want to find a rare 2009 no-mint mark penny? First, check the date. If it says 2009, you're on the right track. Then, see if there's any mint mark under the date. If you don't see a P for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco, congratulations. You might just have one of these rare pennies on your hands. But hold up, it's not just about the lack of a mint mark. The coin's condition, or grade, is key. The most valuable 2009 penny is believed to be in a pristine, high-grade state, meaning it's shiny, no scratches, no dents, like it just walked out of the mint yesterday. So, there you have it. Next time you're rummaging through that spare change, don't underestimate the power of a penny. You could have something worth more than a luxury sports car in your hands if you're into the idea of turning pennies into millions, or just want to hear more tips on finding hidden treasures in your pocket change. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join me for more fun, tips, and tricks to uncover coins that are worth big money. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one cashing in that next $1.9 million penny. We're diving into the mystery of the 1971 Lincoln penny and why collectors are willing to pay huge bucks for this little copper wonder. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Now, the 1971 Lincoln penny doesn't exactly scream millionaire status. It's small, coppery, and typically doesn't have a mint mark. But in the world of coin collecting, that little no mint mark detail means it was minted in Philadelphia. And if it's in top-notch condition, we're talking $1.8 million level top-notch. Picture it like a dating profile. Born in 1971, smooth surface, strong details, and no blemishes. Apparently, it's got all the qualities collectors are swooning over. Alright, maybe that's a little dramatic, but finding a high-grade 1971 penny without a scratch, a dent, or anywhere, that is rare. And in the coin world, rarity means big bucks. So, let's talk condition, or in coin lingo, mint state. If your 1971 penny looks like it just rolled out of the mint, you might be onto something. Collectors are looking for pennies that are almost flawless. And yeah, a few scratches or dents here and there might bring the value way down. I'm talking from millions to mere pennies. It's like when you try to sell an old smartphone with a cracked screen versus one that's barely been used. Same model, but oh, the difference in value. Your 1971 Lincoln Penny has to be like the fresh out-of-the-box smartphone of coins. Segment 3. Why the craze over this penny? So, you're probably wondering, what's so special about this penny? Why is this thing worth more than a car, a house, or, if it's in mint condition, even some yachts? Back in the day, the US Mint cranked out billions of these pennies, so the odds of finding a unique, high-grade 1971 penny are like hitting the coin collector's version of the lottery. That's why these rare, pristine ones are so valuable. They're unicorns in the coin world. True story. I once found a 1971 penny in my car's cup holder, and I thought, hey, maybe I just got super lucky. But no. After I got out the magnifying glass and realized it had more scratches than a DJ at a nightclub, I knew it wasn't the one. That's just how it goes. Alright, so if you're inspired to start digging through every penny you can find, here's what to look for. No mint mark. This means it was made in Philly. If it's got a D or S mark, put it back. Mint state condition. The shinier and cleaner, the better. Anywhere, and you're losing value faster than a new car driving off the lot. Get it graded. The only way to officially know what your penny is worth is to get it graded by a professional. Think of it like getting your baseball card collection appraised by a pro, but it can pay off big time. And hey, pro tip, if you're digging through old coins, handle them gently. Use a magnifying glass, wear gloves, and if you think you've hit the jackpot, keep it safe. Who knew, right? This tiny, unassuming coin could be the key to a small fortune. If you're like me, you're probably going to start checking every penny you come across from now on. And honestly, why not? This little hobby could turn into a massive payday. But if you don't want to go through all that pocket change on your own, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our coin-loving community. I'm here every week with tips on valuable coins, hidden gems, and smart strategies for turning loose change into a treasure hunt. Plus, who doesn't love the thrill of finding treasure, right? So, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends. Maybe you'll help someone else find $1 million penny. We're diving into the 1963 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. And folks, this isn't just a good-for-gumballs penny. This little copper hero could actually make you rich. So, how did this little copper gem skyrocket to the $1 million club? Could you really have one sitting in your change jar? Or maybe even down in that mysterious couch cushion zone? Stick around, because we're about to find out. And if you love hearing about hidden treasures in everyday places, make sure to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next find. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty. You might be wondering, what's so special about the 1963 penny without a mint mark? Well, first off, a no-mint mark doesn't mean it's a defect. In fact, all pennies from the Philadelphia Mint in 1963 were produced without any mint marks. But it's not that simple, so don't go digging for any old 1963 penny just yet. What we're talking about is a certain 1963 penny, a very specific kind that's ultra-rare and valuable for a few reasons. A small batch of these pennies were struck with a unique metal composition, or they were misstruck in a way that makes them one of a kind. It's like finding a chocolate chip in your plain oatmeal cookie. Rare, exciting, and kind of delicious, if you're into that. Now, here's the crazy part. A couple of these pennies, verified by top collectors, recently sold at auctions for, brace yourself, over $1 million. Yep, one single penny with no mint mark sold for over $1.2 million. That's more than the cost of an actual house, folks. So if you're saving for a down payment, maybe all you need to do is start flipping through your coin stash. Alright, so what makes a 1963 penny hit the jackpot? First off, condition is key. If your 1963 penny looks like it went through the garbage disposal, well, maybe not so valuable. But if it's in what we call mint state or near-perfect condition, you're looking at something special. A penny without wear and tear, with all the crisp details on Lincoln's face, that's where the money's at. Next is composition. Some of these rare pennies have been found with unique metal contents. Picture this. Back in the day, A few odd pennies slipped through the cracks with slightly different materials. This could happen due to minting errors, which make collectors go wild. And if you're thinking, this is my kind of treasure hunt, well, you're absolutely right. Okay, so you're probably thinking, how do I know if my 1963 penny is the one? Here's the deal. Grab a magnifying glass, check the date, 1963, no mint mark, and examine the details. If it's shiny, shows Lincoln in pristine glory, and looks nearly untouched, you might be in for a treat. But remember, even if it's not the Holy Grail penny, some 1963 pennies in great condition can still fetch a few $100. Not a million. Sure, but definitely more than 1 cent. Funny story. A few years ago, I actually found a 1963 penny and thought I'd hit the jackpot. I was so excited, so I ran to my local coin dealer and showed it to him. He looked at it, and you know what he said? "Buddy, this is worth about $1. $1. I walked out of there with a new respect for humble pennies, but also a newfound determination to find the one. So, moral of the story? Keep searching, because you never know. All right, treasure hunters, let's wrap this up. So, the 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it could be worth a fortune if it's in pristine condition or has a unique metal composition. Now, is it easy to find? Nope. But is it impossible? Also nope. And you don't need to be a coin expert to get started. All it takes is a keen eye, a magnifying glass, and a little bit of patience. Who knows? That next grocery store penny might just change your life. And hey, if you're curious about other valuable coins you might have lying around, go ahead and subscribe. We're all about digging up hidden value from common finds and helping you discover what might just be your next big payday. Hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you've ever found a coin worth more than its face value. We're talking about one seriously valuable coin. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny. Yep, the one that's worth up to $1.7 million. Now, you're probably thinking, how on earth can a penny be worth that much? And that's what we're here to find out. First things first. Not every 1968 penny is worth $1.7 million. If that were the case, we'd all be millionaires by now, right? The one we're after is a very special version, one that was minted without a mint mark. And here's the kicker. It was made in San Francisco now. Most coins minted in San Francisco have an S on them. There's a little mark on the coin that tells you where it was made. But the 1968 penny we're looking for? No S at all. Nada. Zip. This tiny error has turned an ordinary coin into a jackpot for collectors. The no mint mark makes it like a celebrity in the coin world. Rare, mysterious, and valuable. So why is this penny worth so much? Well, it all boils down to rarity. See, in the coin collecting world, the scarcer the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Imagine a vintage comic book that only a few people have. Collectors go wild for that kind of thing. Same deal here. Only a very limited number of 1968 pennies were mistakenly minted without the S mark in San Francisco, making it a hot commodity now. Some people say that these pennies are like unicorns. They're out there, somewhere, probably sitting in a piggy bank completely unappreciated. And every now and then, one of these unicorn pennies surfaces at an auction, and that's when you see these jaw-dropping prices. All right, let's get to the juicy part. The money. In recent years, one of these 1968 no mint mark pennies fetched a whopping $1.7 million at an auction. That's right, one penny could pay for a nice house, a luxury car, or, about 170 million gumballs. And the best part? You don't need to be a coin expert to find one. These things occasionally pop up in regular circulation, meaning someone might just get one in their change from the coffee shop and not even know they're holding a small fortune, all right? So how do you find out if you've got one of these golden tickets? It's actually pretty simple. First, grab a 1968 Lincoln penny and look just below the date on the front. If there's an S there, sorry, but you're out of luck. Still a penny. But if there's no mint mark at all, get ready to do a happy dance because you might be looking at a rare one now. Keep in mind, it's best to have the coin professionally appraised if you think you've got something rare. Even a tiny scratch or blemish can affect the value, so handle it with care. You don't want to be the person who lost $1 million because of a scratch, right? Asterisk funny story. Back when I first started coin collecting, I thought every old-looking penny was valuable. I spent hours rummaging through spare change, showing my family each special penny I found. They were not amused. My little cousins started calling me Penny Pirate because I'd always have handfuls of change, searching for treasure. Spoiler, I didn't find a $1.7 million penny, but I did find a few interesting ones that got me hooked on the hobby. Point is, it's a fun little treasure hunt you can do without any fancy equipment. And who knows, maybe you'll be the lucky one who finds the next rare coin. Asterisk. So, there you have it, the story of the 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth up to $1.7 million. The moral of the story? Never underestimate the value of your spare change. That penny in your pocket could be worth a whole lot more than you think. Asterisk. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you some serious cash, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of my tips and strategies on coin collecting. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll be the one cashing in on a tiny treasure. We're diving into the world of the 1975 Lincoln cent, the one with no mint mark that collectors are currently obsessing over. Spoiler alert. It's worth way more than 1 cent. Think closer to $1.3 million. I know, it sounds like something out of a movie, but let's see what makes this little copper coin so special. Alright, so what's up with this 1975 penny? Why is a small piece of copper worth enough to buy a house? Or 4? Well, this penny is actually an oddball for a few reasons. First off, it's missing something most coins have, a mint mark. That's the tiny letter on US coins that tells you where it was made, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Now, 1975 pennies made in Philly didn't have mint marks by default, but it turns out that one no-mint mark penny from that year has skyrocketed in value, and collectors are going absolutely bananas for it. Here's the kicker. It's not every 1975 penny that's worth a fortune. Most 1975 Lincoln pennies are just pennies, but a few of them were made differently, probably due to a minting error. Some experts believe these rare pennies were struck on leftover 1974 planchets, or blanks, instead of the regular copper and zinc mix they started using. And that's what makes it so valuable to collectors. Think of it like a Pokemon card with a misprint. One small mistake, and suddenly everyone wants it. Let me tell you, when I first started collecting coins, I had no idea about any of this. I remember coming across a penny that looked a little funny, like it had a smudge or something, and I thought, hey, this could be my golden ticket. Spoiler, it wasn't. Just a plain OL penny. I think I spent a week squinting at it, though, convinced I'd discovered treasure. So, if you're out there holding up a 1975 penny, know you're not alone. We've all been there, hoping for that 1 in a million find. Now, here's the big question. What does it take for a 1975 no-mint mark penny to reach that jaw-dropping value? Well, it's all about condition and rarity. Only a handful of these error coins exist, and if you're lucky enough to find one that's in mint condition, pun intended, it could potentially reach values as high as $1.3 million. The one in top condition that sold at auction was nearly flawless. The grading companies like PCGS and NGC look for details like luster, lack of scratches, and overall sharpness. That's what helps turn a penny into something truly legendary. To put it simply, condition is king. Even a little ding or scratch can make a big difference in price. So, if you're hunting for a 1975 penny that could make you a millionaire, make sure to handle your coins carefully. Wear gloves or use a coin holder, and don't be like me, tossing them in a jar with your pocket change. Alright, let's break this down. If you find one of these pennies in average condition, it might be worth a little something, maybe a few bucks to a serious collector. But if you happen to stumble upon one that's in perfect, pristine condition, you're in the realm of big money, like 6 zeros type of money. And even if you don't find the legendary one, some other old coins or error coins can still fetch a nice price. So, it's worth checking your change. And look, I get it. Searching for pennies might sound like a weird hobby, but think about it. You're basically going on a treasure hunt. And that's exactly how these collectors think. They're looking for history, for that needle in a haystack. And hey, maybe that rare penny is sitting in your pocket right now. So there you have it. The 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth a cool 1.3 million. Who knew that something as ordinary as a penny could hold so much value? If you're intrigued by stories like this and want to learn more about hidden treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We've got tons more tips on valuable coins, strategies for coin collecting, and insider stories about how to find rare gems in the most unexpected places. Who knows? Next time, it could be your penny that's worth a fortune. We're diving into the world of the 1975 Lincoln cent, the one with no mint mark that collectors are currently obsessing over. Spoiler alert. It's worth way more than 1 cent. Think closer to $1.3 million. I know, it sounds like something out of a movie, but let's see what makes this little copper coin so special. Alright, so what's up with this 1975 penny? Why is a small piece of copper worth enough to buy a house? Or 4? Well, this penny is actually an oddball for a few reasons. First off, it's missing something most coins have: a mint mark. That's the tiny letter on US coins that tells you where it was made: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Now, 1975 pennies made in Philly didn't have mint marks by default, but it turns out that one no-mint mark penny from that year has skyrocketed in value, and collectors are going absolutely bananas for it. Here's the kicker. It's not every 1975 penny that's worth a fortune. Most 1975 Lincoln pennies are just pennies, but a few of them were made differently, probably due to a minting error. Some experts believe these rare pennies were struck on leftover 1974 planchets, or blanks, instead of the regular copper and zinc mix they started using. And that's what makes it so valuable to collectors. Think of it like a Pokemon card with a misprint. One small mistake, and suddenly everyone wants it. Let me tell you, when I first started collecting coins, I had no idea about any of this. I remember coming across a penny that looked a little funny, like it had a smudge or something, and I thought, hey, this could be my golden ticket. Spoiler, it wasn't. Just a plain OL penny. I think I spent a week squinting at it, though, convinced I'd discovered treasure. So, if you're out there holding up a 1975 penny, know you're not alone. We've all been there, hoping for that 1-in-a-million find. Now, here's the big question. What does it take for a 1975 no-mint mark penny to reach that jaw-dropping value? Well, it's all about condition and rarity. Only a handful of these error coins exist, and if you're lucky enough to find one that's in mint condition, pun intended, it could potentially reach values as high as $1.3 million. The one in top condition that sold at auction was nearly flawless. The grading companies like PCGS and NGC look for details like luster, lack of scratches, and overall sharpness. That's what helps turn a penny into something truly legendary. To put it simply, condition is king. Even a little ding or scratch can make a big difference in price. So, if you're hunting for a 1975 penny that could make you a millionaire, make sure to handle your coins carefully. Wear gloves or use a coin holder, and don't be like me, tossing them in a jar with your pocket change. Alright, let's break this down. If you find one of these pennies in average condition, it might be worth a little something, maybe a few bucks to a serious collector. But if you happen to stumble upon one that's in perfect, pristine condition, you're in the realm of big money, like 6 zeros type of money. And even if you don't find the legendary one, some other old coins or error coins can still fetch a nice price. So, it's worth checking your change. And look, I get it. Searching for pennies might sound like a weird hobby, but think about it. You're basically going on a treasure hunt. And that's exactly how these collectors think. They're looking for history, for that needle in a haystack. And hey, maybe that rare penny is sitting in your pocket right now. So there you have it. The 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth a cool $1.3 million. Who knew that something as ordinary as a penny could hold so much value? If you're intrigued by stories like this and want to learn more about hidden treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We've got tons more tips on valuable coins, strategies for coin collecting, and insider stories about how to find rare gems in the most unexpected places. Who knows? Next time, it could be your penny that's worth a fortune. We're diving into one of the hottest penny topics around the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent piece, with no mint mark, and why this seemingly ordinary penny is worth the kind of money you'd expect to see on a lottery ticket. Plus, I'll share some quick tips on where to look, how to know if you've hit the jackpot, and maybe even a little story about my own journey to finding coins worth real money. Host. So let's break it down. The 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is like a tiny celebrity in the coin world. Why? Well, mint marks are the tiny letters that tell us which U.S. mint made the coin. Normally, you'd see a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco right under the year. But in 1976, something unusual happened. Some pennies didn't get a mint mark. And that little no mint mark detail is where things get interesting and super valuable. Okay, here's the million-dollar question. Why is this no mint mark penny worth so much? Well, the Philadelphia Mint, where this penny was made, usually didn't put mint marks on their coins back then. So, at first glance, there's nothing special about a missing mint mark. But here's the twist. The condition of this penny is what's making waves. A rare 1976 no-mint mark penny in nearly perfect condition. Think like, fresh out the factory perfect, recently went for, wait for it, $1.7 million. Yeah, not too shabby for a penny. Now, don't go putting in your 2-week notice just yet. Not every 1976 penny is worth millions. This particular one was almost flawless, rated as MS-67. To put that into perspective, imagine if someone kept that penny safe in a vault and never let it roll around in a pocket. Pristine doesn't even cover it. It's like the unicorn of pennies. Now, let's get into the juicy stuff. How can you spot one of these potentially pricey pennies? First, pull out that 1976 penny and look closely at it. No mint mark? You're halfway there. Second, check the condition. Is it shiny? Scratch-free? Practically glowing like the penny gods blessed it? If it's got serious sparkle and you don't see any wear, you might just be onto something. Fun fact, I once went down the rabbit hole of checking every penny I could find after hearing about valuable ones. I swear I looked like a detective in my living room, magnifying glass in hand, squinting at every penny. Sadly, all I found was like 30 cents and a button. But hey, the thrill was there. And trust me, if you're as curious as I am, that hunt can be kind of addictive. Alright, let's talk about grades real quick. Coin grades go from 1 to 70. Anything over 65? Now you're talking big bucks. MS 67 or higher is the goal here. So, if you've got a penny that looks like it's barely been touched, you could be sitting on a little treasure. And if you're wondering how to get it graded, send it to a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Yes, it costs a little, but if your penny comes back with a high grade, it'll be worth every cent, pun totally intended. And I know what you're thinking. What are the chances of having one of these pennies? It's like finding a needle in a haystack. But hey, somebody's got to find that needle, right? And why not you? So, the next time you come across a 1976 penny, remember, it might just be worth a closer look. Check for that missing mint mark, examine its condition, and if it's got that extra shine, consider getting it graded. Who knows, it could end up being one of the rarest and most valuable pennies out there. And trust me, there's nothing quite like the thrill of finding hidden treasure in your pocket change. And hey, if you're into coins, collecting, or just discovering the hidden value in everyday stuff, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and stick around. Here on Coins Dealer, we're always digging into hidden gems that might just make you a little richer, and definitely make you a lot savvier. 1985 D Lincoln cent could be worth more than a luxury sports car or even your whole house. And today, I'm going to tell you all about why this seemingly regular little penny is sending shockwaves through the coin world, what makes it special, and why people are throwing down big bucks for it. Alright, first things first. You're probably wondering, what exactly makes this 1985 D Lincoln cent worth so much money? Isn't it just a penny? It is, but there's a twist. Only a small number of these pennies came out of the Denver Mint with some very unique characteristics, which sent collectors on a treasure hunt. And now, a lucky find could potentially change your life. I remember one Saturday morning, sorting through an old piggy bank from when I was a kid. And guess what I found? A whole bunch of 1980s pennies. I was so excited, until I realized none of them were the magic $1 million penny. Not even close. I even went through my friends' change jars. They weren't thrilled about it. But hey, worth a shot, right? Alright, back to the 1985 D penny. So what makes this particular coin so valuable? It comes down to a few specific factors: the quality, the mint mark, and get this, demand. People are paying for the rarity and story of these coins. So, it's not just about finding a 1985 penny. It's about finding the perfect one. The D you see under the date? That stands for Denver, where it was minted. Now, most of the pennies from that year are standard, but only a handful came out looking flawless with an unusual, sharp design on both sides. If you're lucky enough to find one in what we call mint state, which basically means it's fresh as a daisy, then it could fetch you big bucks, maybe even that $1.4 million mark. I know what you're thinking. How do I know if my 1985 penny is the one? That's what I thought too. So I did some digging, a lot of digging. And here's what I found. First, check for any wear or scratches. The cleaner and sharper the penny, the better your chances. And when I say sharp, I mean you should be able to see every little Lincoln detail, the lines of his coat, his ears, even the tiny lines of his beard. If your penny is smooth like it's been through a rock tumbler, it's not likely to fetch much. But if you've got that diamond quality shine, it might just be your lucky day. Basically, you want this penny to look like it hasn't even seen the inside of a wallet, let alone survive the laundromat coin trap. Because honestly, we've all been there, right? So let's talk about the grading. There's this scale called the Sheldon scale. Yep, sounds fancy, right? And it rates coins from 1 to 70. You're aiming for that 70, which is basically a never-been-touched level. If you get it graded and it's up there on the scale, that's when you can really start seeing those dollar signs. Now, here's where things get even crazier. The market for coins is driven by collectors, and collectors are driven by rarity and history. There are serious coin enthusiasts out there who see this 1985 D penny like it's a piece of fine art. And every once in a while, a collector with deep pockets sees one of these pennies and just has to have it. Supply and demand, my friends. It's the same reason why people pay top dollar for vintage cars or first edition comic books. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. Is it realistic to find a $1 million penny? Look, the odds are super slim. But there's good news. Even if you don't find one worth $1.4 million, other well-preserved 1985 D pennies could still bring in hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So don't lose hope. So there you have it. The 1985 D penny, a little coin with a big price tag. Maybe you're now staring at a handful of change in a whole new way, right? And hey, it's worth the look. Imagine finding one of these and cashing it in. You could buy yourself a car, take a dream vacation, maybe even put a down payment on a house. All because of a penny. If you're curious about coins and other hidden treasures that might be lurking in your pockets, subscribe to the channel. I'm here every week with tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money, treasure hunts, and a few laughs along the way. Who knows? Next time, you might just be the one finding the $1 million penny. We're diving into how and why this humble penny could be your ticket to a millionaire lifestyle. Who knew all those pennies in your couch cushions might have a secret jackpot? Alright, so here's the scoop. Back in 1991, Lincoln cents were cranked out by the billions. No one thought twice about them. And I know you're probably thinking, wait, what makes this penny so special? It's just an old coin I've probably seen 100 times. But that's the beauty of it. This is all about the mysterious no-mint mark version, the one made without a distinguishing mark for its minting location. What's the deal with no-mint mark pennies? So, here's how it works. Usually, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, while Denver uses a D and San Francisco uses an S. But for some reason, this no-mint mark 1991 penny has a crazy value tied to it. It's kind of like finding a treasure chest disguised as an ordinary rock. This penny doesn't look different from your average Lincoln cent, but experts and collectors believe that it's rarity, and the chance that it was a unique error may be why it's estimated at such a high price. I mean, who wouldn't want a penny worth $1.8 million? You could pay off your student loans, get a lifetime supply of pizza, and still have cash left over. How rare are these pennies? Really, here's where it gets interesting. The truth is, pennies with no mint mark from Philadelphia are common, but finding one with certain details where patterns or errors can be a different story. There's actually some debate in the collectors community about what exactly gives these pennies their immense value, especially since condition plays a huge role in determining a coin's price. Imagine this. You're rummaging through an old jar of pennies in your grandma's attic, and you come across a 1991 penny. At first you think, oh, just another penny. But then you take a closer look, start comparing it to other pennies online, and bam, there it is, a rare gem worth potentially millions. That's exactly the moment we're all hoping for, right? Why would anyone pay $1.8 million for a penny? Now, let's break down why this penny could be valued so highly. Besides rarity, collectors are fascinated by history, quirks, and production errors. It's like how people are willing to pay top dollar for a misprinted baseball card or a rare comic book with a mistake. Imperfections can actually add value. So, some 1991 no-mint mark pennies were struck with unique qualities, giving them this almost mythical worth. It's like finding a four-leaf clover, but way better. In fact, there's been a growing buzz in online communities about this specific penny's million-dollar value. And yeah, it's even made headlines. So if you find one, you're not just holding a piece of history, you're holding a piece of cash history. How to check if your 1991 penny is the one? Alright, so you're wondering, okay, but how do I know if my 1991 penny is a jackpot? Here's the first thing to do. Check for that mint mark. If it's a 1991 penny with no D or S on it, you might be onto something. Then you're going to want to examine the coin's condition. The best finds are usually uncirculated or almost uncirculated. You want it as close to new as possible. Tiny scratches, worn details, even fingerprints can reduce the value. Next, look for unique features or misprints. Maybe the Liberty is a bit funky, or the date is slightly misaligned. If anything looks odd, don't just chalk it up to a regular coin. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for these little quirks on my personal penny hunt adventure. So, funny story. Last year, I got so hyped up about rare pennies that I spent an entire weekend digging through every single penny in my house. And let me tell you, I was convinced I'd find a winner. My kitchen looked like a scene out of National Treasure. With me in the middle of coin stacks, inspecting every penny under a magnifying glass. In the end, did I find a $1.8 million penny? No, I found about 800 pennies that I had to lug to the bank. But hey, I still believe it's out there. And it was definitely worth it for the thrill. And you never know. One day, you or I could get lucky. Alright, now here's where I need your help. Have you found any 1991 pennies with no mint mark in your change? Do you have that potential gold mine just lying around in a jar? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're inspired to start checking your coins for hidden treasures, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We dive into coin hunting, rare finds, and tips to make real money from the change you've already got lying around. So go on. Check those pennies, and who knows, your next find might be worth a fortune. We're talking about the 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's sending collectors into a frenzy with its jaw-dropping price tag. So if you're ready to dive into this crazy coin world, smash that like button, sit back, and let's see if you're a millionaire without even knowing it. Alright, so here's the deal. Most pennies minted in 2013 have either a D or S mark, telling you they were made in Denver or San Francisco. But if you have one without that mint mark, it's a different story entirely. Now, this isn't just a regular no-mint penny. There's something special, almost mythical about it. Turns out, this little beauty is like finding a unicorn with a bag of cash in a sea of really boring pennies. So, what makes this no-mint penny worth over $1 million? Let's break it down. In 2013, most pennies were mass-produced to the point that they're, well, kind of boring. But a small handful of these pennies slipped through the cracks without a mint mark and, bam! You've got yourself a true rarity. And coin collectors love rare things. Think about it. They're like the hipsters of the money world. They just want something no one else has. Now, I know what you're thinking. Am I actually sitting on $1 million penny? Is my entire piggy bank a potential gold mine? And hey, maybe it is. But don't quit your day job just yet. Chances are you've got regular 2013 pennies, worth about, well, a penny. So how do you tell if you have this magical no mint mark 2013 penny? First, check for obvious signs like the absence of a mint mark. It sounds obvious, but it's surprisingly rare. And if you do have a no mint penny, you'll want to get it verified by a professional. Don't go texting your friends claiming you're a millionaire before you're absolutely sure. Imagine the awkwardness when you find out it's worth maybe a penny and a half. Another thing to note is that even if you have a 2013 no mint penny, it doesn't guarantee it's worth millions. Condition matters. Collectors pay top dollar for a coin that's basically untouched. So if your penny's been through the wash a few times or has seen more sticky fingers than a bag of Halloween candy, that $1 million dream might be a little less shiny. But hey, even a few hundred or $1,000 wouldn't be too bad, right? Here's a funny story. A few years back, I got a coin collection from my grandma. I thought, wow, maybe I've got some serious cash here. I mean, it was filled with old coins. Some even had dates I couldn't read. I spent hours looking them up online, praying to find one of those valuable coins. In the end, the most valuable one was worth about $2.50. Moral of the story? If you're going on a treasure hunt, keep your expectations low but your hopes high. So, if you're serious about this and think you've found one, remember these two things. First, get it appraised by a certified coin dealer. And second, handle it carefully, like no tossing it around or showing it to your cat. A scratch could drop the value faster than you can say, well, that's unfortunate. All right, coin hunters, that's the lowdown on the elusive, potentially mega valuable 2013 no mint mark penny. If you enjoyed this wild penny chase, hit that subscribe button because I've got more tips, stories, and coin hunting hacks coming your way. And hey, even if you don't strike it rich, you'll definitely have some fun, and maybe a better appreciation for the spare change lying around. So, keep digging, stay curious, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next one telling everyone about your $1 million find. We're diving into a penny that could make you rich. I know, sounds crazy, right? I mean, who even looks twice at a penny nowadays? Well, you're about to. All right, let's get into the juicy details. So, what's the big deal about this 2018 penny? This coin is from the Denver Mint, hence the D mark right under the date. And while millions of pennies are produced every year, certain coins end up being like the golden ticket from Willy Wonka. For this little 2018 D Lincoln cent, it's a unique die error that gives it an insane value. You see, back in 2018, there were a few, let's call them hoopsies, in the minting process. Sometimes coins have minor errors, double die strikes, weird anomalies, things that look like the coin is winking at you if you stare long enough. For some reason, those mistakes can send collectors wild, and the value skyrocketing. So how do you know if your 2018 D penny is the jackpot? First, check for unique errors like doubling in Lincoln's head, odd letters in Liberty or the date, or any other little quirks. Grab a magnifying glass and really inspect it. I had a friend once who found a penny with a slight double die error. He thought it was no big deal, and then it sold for hundreds. Hundreds! I'm pretty sure he checked every penny he ever got after that. Okay, but back to the $1 million prize. In early 2023, one 2018 D penny with an extraordinary, rare mint error sold for $1.9 million. It's almost as rare as finding a needle in a haystack or trying to find a parking spot in downtown on a Saturday night. Now, before you run to your couch cushions, let me say this: the chances of your penny hitting that number are low. But it's not impossible. Collectors are constantly hunting for unique coins, and even minor minting quirks could make you a pretty penny, pun totally intended. Let me tell you a little story. I once found a super old coin from my dad's coin collection, and I was convinced it was going to make me rich. I was already planning my vacation to Bali. Turns out it was worth about $12. But the excitement of checking every detail was totally worth it. And hey, who knows? One of these days, one of us might just get lucky. So, here's the moral of today's story. Don't underestimate the power of a penny. Whether it's a 2018 D Lincoln cent or any other coin with a potential mint error, You never know what could be hiding in plain sight. So, get a magnifying glass, get out your old coins, and start your treasure hunt. If you enjoyed this and you're hungry for more coin tips, tricks, and hidden value stories, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss a beat. Whether you're a casual collector, a total newbie, or just a person with spare change, this channel's here to help you make sense, and maybe even make sense of your coins.